Hello humans. Apologies for the state of the place, but I'm counting in hours to the move now. Nothing's getting done at a great speed of knots. So yeah, it's now or never, hence it not being cleaned, anything. But my youngest daughter wants a visual record of the house, and here we are. So, living room. Originally this room was shocking pink chip paper with these hideous orange units built in either side of the chimney breast. And my first thought on seeing this house was, well, that needs to go. Orange and pink, not a great mix. As a living room, we've got a photo of my eldest Erin in a playpen in here whilst we were working on the house, and she's just standing in the playpen with her hands over her eyes, which seemed to sum it up so perfectly. Before we moved in, that all got ripped out, and we were taking the paper off with one of those steam stripper things, and the plaster came off, and we all just stood there looking at the bare brickwork going, oh. That moment where you realise it's going to take a lot more work than you thought. And after that, it was painted blue, dark blue, midnight sky with little gold stars all over it. I blame 1990s home decor programs, which were hideous. And if you ever see any of those things, yeah, we did that shit. You know, they said that the 70s was the decade that taste forgot. Not true. So yeah, so I lived with that for a long time. And it was actually okay because this is a really big space, lots of natural light. So the fact it was a dark colour just made it feel cosier. So I had that for a long time, and I knew I wanted to change. I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it and couldn't come up with anything. So eventually I painted it white, which took forever because if you ever tried to cover up dark blue paint, yeah, that was fun. And I left it blank white for a long time, and then it ended up my favourite colour, my Grecian Spa, which is the colour of the living room, dining room at the new house. And talking about living room, dining room, this was a dining room at one point. We had two 4-seater tables, sort of tucked up into the bay window, which I'm sitting next to. I'll show you around in a sec. But that didn't really work for us. We had the living room up the other end, and it was quite cosy. But we're not a sitting up at table sort of family really, so that just didn't work. But you know, I've moved things around so many times in this house, you know, trying to get the best use of the space. You know, we've been here for a long time, 19.5 years. So, you know, you're going to try a few different things, right? This is the only room with any sort of features, original features, whatever. It's got some quite nice coving and a ceiling rose that desperately needs stripping. It used to be 2 rooms, where the not an arch. See, look at that chaos. Isn't that terrible? Jesus, you see what I've been living with for the last few weeks. Not looking forward to this. Anyway, so the rooms were knocked together, and there was a door communicating to the hallway. Yeah, so we redecorated this room in probably about 2011. We've had a chat, we can't really remember. Partly chose the colour scheme for ahead of my eldest daughter's Sweet 16th, which we did a Hawaiian theme, so I wanted some nice sort of bright tropical colours. I mean, not that I decorate houses for parties, but having had it blank white for ages, not making a decision, that's kind of what led it to be in this colour. But you know, I really do love it. And you know, this is off the green spectrum, even though it looks blue, and that's off the green spectrum, even though it looks yellow. So it's weird, they kind of go together in a really strange, bizarre kind of way. Yeah, so let's have a little look. bay window, which has been the bane of my existence. I mean, look at the curtains. Got to sort those out before we go. Had my plates up here, my Lawrence painting, if you want to go and have a look at that on one of the art chat videos. The chimney breast used to have a gas fireplace here. That was, you know, hideous. I was really worried about Erin twiddling with it and turning the gas on, and the gas technician, plumber, whoever he was, just came along, pulled the knob straight off. So there, it's safe now. Well, there's high tech for you. I was thinking it had to be properly disconnected or something. Second bit by the side of the thing. Have a look at my coving. Ceiling rose. And this is one of the rare occasions we've actually had a sofa in the living room. We did have one when we first moved here. That's died. We had the doors and windows changed. Couldn't get a new one through the new front door. So it wasn't until we got the windows done again. We had this one so that it opens two ways. It sort of tilts and turns. And you can bring a sofa in through it. Only I didn't have one. It was only when we got rid of the armchairs to the tip a few weeks ago, we brought this one in. And this was in my shed and will go into my new shed for the purposes of sitting on. Because who doesn't go and sit in their shed for rest and relaxation? So yeah, I don't think there's much else to be said for it really. Obviously many years sat watching a TV, which at one point was there, and then was subsequently a nice big one here, which has steadily looked smaller since I bought it. Isn't it weird how TVs do that? You buy a new TV, it's absolutely massive, and then it shrinks. I'm hoping to do a walkthrough with the house empty tomorrow, but it really depends on time and stress levels. So this could be it, folks. I'm just going to be so glad when all this is over. Laters.